The Kingsway, one of the most historic and affluent neighborhoods in all of Toronto. Today we're going to peel back the curtain and see what living in this amazing pocket is all about. So if you're thinking of moving here, you'll know exactly what to expect. Be sure to stick around till the end of the video because we're going to take a look at a house that sold for over $10 million in this neighborhood. Let's dive into the real Kingsway lifestyle. If this is your first time to the channel and you'd like to know everything there is to know about moving to Toronto and the surrounding area, then be sure to subscribe so you can be the first to learn about the current market conditions in Toronto. My name is Philip Kotlier and I've been helping families move to Toronto and the surrounding area for over 10 years. So if you're looking to move in 8 days or 80 days, I'd love to hear from you. Feel free to send me a text message, send me an email, or set up a Zoom call with me. There's a link in the description below. Happy to help you make that smooth move over to Toronto. We're in the Kingsway today, one of the most unique neighborhoods in all of Toronto. This neighborhood is located on the west end of the city, around 15-20 minutes from the downtown core, also 15-20 minutes away from Pearson International Airport in the west. Now the neighborhood is bounded by Dundas Street in the north, Humber River in the east, Bloor Street in the south, and Mimico Creek in the west. The neighborhood was first developed by Etobicoke lawyer Robert Holmes Smith, who purchased the old mill and began developing land in the early 1900s. The Kingsway emerged from Holmes Smith's vision of the ideal community and was mostly inspired by the Garden City principles, which were originally conceived in parts of England and the United States during the 19th and early 20th centuries. Indeed, Smith was a big fan of everything English, and this inclination instructed his ideas for the neighborhood. By the 1920s, those ideas culminated in the development, which he named Kingsway Park. Tastefully appointed traditional homes were sited on well-treed and winding streets to create an air of a wooded retreat. Holmes Smith also decreed that no owner could build a house without the approval of his staff, and he developed strict regulations against the cutting of trees. Most of the homes were designed in the arts and crafts style, which had become popular during that time. Smith insisted on the use of locally sourced materials for the houses in Kingsway Park, such as sandstone quarried from around the Humber River and Cred River areas. Kingsway Park was aimed at affluent home buyers. Street names such as Queen Anne Road and King's Garden Road emphasized the appearance of English respectability and affluence that Smith was selling. Smith also created the Old Mill restaurant in the community, whose Tudor Revival facade and well-appointed interiors inspired much of the English design in the Kingsway. Despite its well-intentioned approach to traditionalism, the Kingsway was a neighborhood built for automobile, and all houses were built with discreetly placed garages as per Smith's wishes. So my favorite part about this neighborhood, it's over 100 years old, and you get these really mature, tall trees. You just can't plant a tree that's this big, over 60, 70 feet tall. I think it's quite special. Also, the lot sizes here are very large. A typical lot would be 50 feet front and around 150 deep would be kind of a perfect rectangle that you see here today. Of course, pricing wise, everything's a little bit elevated here compared to the rest of Toronto. It is a very affluent neighborhood, so you kind of are paying top dollar for homes in this neighborhood. Recent sale that I want to touch on is this home right behind me over here. It recently sold for just under $3.9 million, and it features 5 bedrooms, 4 washrooms, a 2-car garage, and a nice lot of 50 by 135 feet. So that's kind of what 3.9 million gets you in this neighborhood. The Kingsway has a population of 9,271 residents with a median age of 46.6 years old. The median household income is $151,552, and the average price of a home in the Kingsway is $1,920,188, and there's a total of 3,710 private dwellings in the neighborhood. Of those, 65% or 2,411 are single detached homes, with the rest being rental buildings or condominium apartments. The most exclusive pocket in this neighborhood is here on the Kingsway Street, and specifically the houses facing east into the Humber River. You can see the lots get much larger and the homes correspondingly get a lot larger as well. Every home here is very individual, and their backyard literally is the ravine. So in the summer you get complete greenery and the sound of the river trickling in your backyard. The Humber River and Etienne Brulé Park form the eastern portion of the Kingsway neighborhood. In them you could find miles and miles of paved trails for biking or hiking or general enjoyment of the outdoors. Once a year in the fall, residents get to enjoy the Salmon Run, an annual event where salmon swim upstream from Lake Ontario deep inland, jumping over waterfalls, rapids, and all kinds of obstacles. It's quite a sight to see if you've never seen it before. It's nice to see that all these homes have maintained their original English charm. From the exterior, these homes look quite old and kind of quite dated in terms of their design style. But if you were to see them from the inside, they're all completely renovated, very modern, and really the inside does not match the outside in all cases. We're on another majestic tree-lined street, and here's another house that recently sold in the Kingsway. This house is 4 bedrooms, 5 washrooms, with 1 garage on a lot that's 40 by 122 square feet. And this house recently sold for exactly $4 million. Now, you might be curious why I am mentioning the sold prices and not the original asking prices, because here in Toronto we've had a bit of a history of bidding wars. So what the actual asking price and what the sold price is are quite different numbers. I feel it's much more useful to disclose what the sold price is so you understand what the actual value of the property is. The listing price could be $3 million, could be $3.5 million, but the final price on this one, $4 million. The Kingsway is a neighborhood very popular with young families because of the many parks and the excellent schools located within this community. Behind me you see Lambton Kingsway Middle School, a school that's ranked 9 out of 10 on the Fraser Institute ranking website. That puts it 70th out of 3,037 schools in the entire province. And I personally know it's a very sought after school, parents renting condos in the neighborhood just so their kids can access the school. Other elementary schools in the neighborhood include Our Lady of Sorrows Catholic School, ranked 8 out of 10 on the Fraser Institute ranking system, or 301 out of 3,037 schools. In high schools, we have Etobicoke Collegiate Institute, which is ranked 6.5 out of 10 on the Fraser Institute ranking system, or 330 out of 739 high schools. If you prefer the private route, there's Kingsway College, which is a private co-ed school covering ages kindergarten to grade 12. If you're looking for something to do at night, you won't have to look too far. Along the southern edge of the Kingsway Crescent is the Bloor Street Strip, with all the restaurants, shops, bars, all the major banks, haircut places, grocery stores, everything you really need to get by, and that's all within walking distance of the Kingsway. Also important to note is that the Kingsway is fully connected with the city's transit system. We have the subway station right here at the foot of Bloor Street. We have Royal York Station, which you can hop on and get to downtown Toronto with just under 30 minutes. Next up is this iconic property set on 2.32 acres overlooking the Humber River. This property features 6 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms, over 5,000 square feet of interior living space. It comes equipped with a second floor nanny in-law suite, a wine tasting room with a 4,000 bottle wine cellar, a billiards room, a theater room, a playroom, a gym, and a wet-dry spa. All this sold for a cool $10.6 million. And that's a wrap on the Kingsway. I hope you guys enjoyed this ride-along tour as we got to know the Kingsway and all its unique quirks and quarks. Now, if you're thinking of moving to Toronto, whether it be the East End, North End, West End, or one of the suburbs that surround the city, I'd love to hear from you. Feel free to send me a text, set up a Zoom call with me, or just pick up the phone and call me. If you are relocating from out of province, I do prefer you set up a Zoom call with me so we can get to know each other a little bit and I can understand your needs before we get deep into the property search. Now, we've made videos in all the unique neighborhoods here in Toronto to make your move over here as easy as possible. So be sure to visit the channel and check out those videos and see which one is best for you. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you can be the first to be notified when new videos are released. We are releasing at least 1 video a week, trying to get it up to 2, but that's going to take a little while. So in the meantime, subscribe and you'll get updated as soon as new ones are released. That's it for today, guys. We'll see you on the next one.